So let's check out what's going on with Strong and Stronger. Let's start off with the Stronger chart. Now, I've changed this up a tiny bit since our last video. If you remember, if you were here watching the previous video I did for Stronger, we were talking about these accumulation ranges, and I'll jump into that in just a moment. I have also tidied up my chart, but since the last video you can see we have had a breakdown from this ascending channel. We were talking about, or at least I was saying in my opinion, I'd need to see a break above $84, the previous rejection range, before I could consider entering a trade on Stronger. And it looks like we've broken out to the downside of the channel, so now I will probably be having to expect lower price targets. That is if we don't hold $58, but as you can see, we're already pushing into the $58 very strongly. Strong is falling off the face of this world like we expected. But yeah, let's jump into what's going on with Stronger. So if you didn't watch yesterday's video, or the video before that, sorry, 2 days ago on Strong, I will run through what I'm talking about by these accumulation ranges. If we can find the brush tool, you can basically see we have these accumulation ranges, and what's important to know is we either have a Fibonacci above us or a Fibonacci below us in these accumulation ranges. And what we've historically done before is we've had these accumulation ranges where we just become a stable coin for a couple days. We then move up to the upper Fibonacci region, we have a rejection, and we proceed to move down into the accumulation range and take out the lower Fibonacci region. In this example specifically, it was actually a support floor that we broke below. This was the low that we put down here. There weren't any Fibonacci's at this region at the time, but after this you can see we had a move up to the upper Fibonacci region. We broke through the support floor and we moved down into a new accumulation range. We did this again. We had a big accumulation range, we came right back up to the top to the previous rejection point slash the upper Fibonacci region, which is the 2.618 in this case. We get rejected off it. In this case we got rejected twice, and at which point we were talking about a move down to the lower Fibonacci band, approximately 4.236, which is $42. We proceeded to move down to 46. We didn't exactly hit my price target. So what is going on right now? Well, we haven't seen something, you know, as crystal clear as an uptrend like this in a very, very long time for Stronger. In fact, if we take a Fibonacci, I'm curious to see if we've actually managed to maintain above the 618 Fibonacci. If not, I imagine your 618 would be in these double fib regions. So your 618 is actually right here where we've backtested already. So we've already backtested the 618. So we've come down to $56. So it is very 50-50 because we're in an uptrend that we've broken down from. The last time we had an accumulation range, or you know, better yet, the last time we broke down and started trending up in a channel like this, we were actually round about here. It was much more short-lived. You can see we had this breakdown. We started forming this kind of ascending channel type pattern up here. You know, I'm just drawing it to best fit, but we had something like this where we were building a channel upwards, and then we proceeded to move down into the lower Fibonacci band beneath us. Let's see, out of curiosity, did we backtest the 618 in this one? So it looks like we backtested the 618, had a dead cat bounce past the 0.5 up to the 382 before having a rejection. So if we were to play out a move similar to what we did before, we could probably expect a slight dead cat bounce coming in for Stronger before we do start to head down. You can see we've come down to the 618, we've pushed above the 0.5, and we've actually already come back up to the 382, so technically this could be done already. So for me to be bullish, nothing's changed. I said this in my last video, I would absolutely not consider entering Strong until we break above this previous rejection point. You can see this is going to be a strong area to break above. I've talked about this before, how we have these accumulation ranges. We visit the upper fib, we never manage to break above them, and we soon fall back down. We then make another accumulation range, get rejected off the fib, move back down to the lower Fibonacci region. So what I'm seeing right now is really a mix between what we saw here and this accumulation range that we saw here. It's quite strange because we didn't come all the way down to this lower fib, so this price target is still in play in my opinion, unless we start heading up and breaking, well, I don't even want to talk about short-term moves because this can move quite euphoric, but from what I can tell, at least in the short term, I mean, we've got a sea of red here, and it is mainly sellers dumping. When I looked about, yeah, I mean, you can see here, I was looking a little bit earlier, and there was a bunch of whale orders. I mean, you can see in this order, a $29,000 sell. And we've got a bunch of other big sell orders. There's not too many big buy orders. They're normally like, here we go. There's another huge USD sell order here. And then again, I mean, we only really see one buy every now and then, and it really doesn't cover what we've seen before. Okay, there's a couple of buy orders for a couple of thousand, but then again, 6,000 buy orders. I mean, some of these are nice. But then you come down and once again $24,000 sell order. It just wipes out all of the bullish buy orders from before. So it really does seem to be mainly sellers to me. There is a 41,000 buy order here, but you know, if we add it all up, the sellers are definitely in power right now. And I don't really want to go through all of the sell orders. It's not really necessary. I did just want to highlight that we are seeing some high volume sell orders. We did get a big selling volume candlestick come in, you know, a couple of hours ago. So really not looking too good on the 4-hourly time frame. Once again, for me to get bullish, we do need to break above $84. I will not consider buying stronger until we have a break up above the previous accumulation range. Now, if we move down into a lower accumulation range and we start bouncing around here, then I will move my price target that needs to break lower. But as of now, as we are kind of just chilling in this zone down here, I mean, you could even argue this is a huge accumulation range. I prefer to draw the accumulation ranges when they're much more tight and concealed in an area like this. In my opinion, this is a breakdown from an accumulation range and a break back up into the previous accumulation range, so I won't consider it one move. Nonetheless, we are still moving down. I do have to assume that 4.236 is still on the table. So I am still expecting a move down to $42. However, we have already come down to $45. So I will consider that move complete. However, with what the charts are doing right now, even if we do have a huge reversal out of nowhere, I would need to see $84 get broken until I do get bullish for stronger, just based on these accumulation cycles that we've seen before, and the general price action is basically moves down, dead cat bounce, move down, dead cat bounce, move down, and then we could be seeing another dead cat bounce. Like I said, the short term it's a little bit sticky because we've back tested the 618. It is really anyone's guess whether we move up or down. I would much rather react to the market than predict it. Nonetheless, I do find it more likely a move down is more likely. However, if we do break above 84, then I will consider entering a long, and I'll give you an update on that on stronger if that does happen. So coming over to strong, I'm really only going to spend a minute on this chart because there's really not too much to analyze. If we look at this in the macro term, bears are in complete full control. I've never seen a daily squeeze mom look like this, where the bears have literally just been in control for the longest time. The chart doesn't look good. We've been bearish on this since we were up here at $272. We're now down at $29, and you know, people disagreed with me when we broke below $70 and I said it was going to 14. But since then we've just gone in a straight line down. I mean, it's not even funny. We're just absolutely eating the floor right now. We're down 60% since we took out the previous floor at $70. So I talked about this when we did have a breakdown of $70. We were all the way up here predicting an 80% move. We moved it in our last video. The last time I made a prediction, I said I was predicting a 65% move, and we're already 27% of the way down. I am thinking that we are going to have continuation. The selling volume that we're seeing right now is just unruly. Like, this volume that we're seeing right now is absolutely exponential. So it's really not looking good for the bulls on strong, even though they have moved over the you know, the node profits into, or the node rewards rather, into stronger. It just seems like strong does not want to survive. We keep on coming back into these 4-hourly EMAs. We only recently had a back test of them a couple of hours ago, so I've got to assume another move underway is underway basically. As you can see, the previous low was here at $30. We have recently taken it out with a 4-hourly candle. If we come over to the 4-hourly, zoom right in, you can see we tried to retest this a few times and got rejected every single time. If we zoom out on the daily as well, you can see I previously did say that $70 was the last line in the sand. But just to humor people, you know, I also said, you know, once you break below $45 at this previous low, then, you know, that's really your nail in the coffin that Strong isn't going to make it. And that is what happened. We've completely swept the lows. This entire uptrend is completely done. So in my opinion, you know, Strong is going to zero over time. It won't just go there overnight. Like I've been saying, it has just been, well, not very slowly, but just trickling down, taking its time to come down. I do at least think there's going to be a dead cat bounce at 14, so I imagine something like this could play out. We could even have a huge rally up to 70 before we do come back down to 0. At least that's what I think is going to play out. I think we're heading down to the 3.618 fib at basically $14. There is no bullish signs right now. Even in the short term, we're taking out the lows. In the higher time frames, we've taken out the macro lows. In the midterm time frame, we took out like the literal last level of support that this thing had. So Strong going to 0, in my opinion. At least it's coming down to $14. That is what I think. Stronger, I think it will outperform Strong in the long term, and it is already outperforming Strong, even though it is down. It's a lot less down than Strong is. That is 100% for sure. But at least in the short term for Stronger, unfortunately, I do think we still do look a little bit bearish. If I'm wrong and we just have a huge reversal, then $84 needs to break. Until we break 84, then, you know, my stance on Stronger hasn't changed. I've been, you know, conservative, sitting on the sideline for this since it minted at $150. So, you know, we got this accumulation range right, we got this accumulation range right. If I'm wrong about this move down to this price target, then at least I can buy at $85 instead of buying at $150. That's my thesis. I'm betting on the trend being my friend until the end, and so far the trend is to the downside. Once the trend has subsided, and in my opinion that will happen once we break $85, then, you know, I'll still be buying for a 43% discount. I'll be buying a breakout after we do stop having the trend being our friend, and I'll be buying once again $84 at a 43% discount. I'd much rather do that than just blindly DCA into the market right now while we are having mixed signals. That is all I see for Strong and Stronger. Stronger, I think the bottom is near. Stronger, I think the bottom is near. Strong, I think the temporary local bottom is near at $14 before we have a huge relief rally, and then subsequently in the next couple of months I imagine will be somewhere near 0. That is all I've got for Strong and Stronger. Once again, none of this is financial advice, it is just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.